Thank you for watching Palm Beach County's Community Bulletin Board. Please check the PBC TV20 online program guide for future airtimes at pbcgov.com.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us this evening. My name is Tara Cardoso, and I'm with Palm Beach County Fire Rescue. Palm Beach County Fire Rescue welcomes you today, the 23rd Annual 9/11 Remembrance Ceremony, held here at the Lake Worth campus of the Palm Beach State College at the beautiful Duncan Theater. September 11th is the day that changed America forever. It's a day that changed the fire service forever. We gather here tonight to honor the victims and the heroes of 9/11, all of the sacrifices made, and the families broken over this horrific act of terror. We're sure to make sure their memories are never, ever forgotten. But this evening we also come together in solidarity. This is a time for all emergency responders, all Americans, to stand tall, to stand proud, and to stand together as the United States of America. For our opening ceremony, will the following people please join me on stage? Our lovely dispatcher, communicator Stacy Body, will be singing the national anthem for the opening ceremony, and our Palm Beach County Fire Rescue Fire Department chaplain, Garfield Hamilton, will join us for the invocation. So without further ado, please stand, everyone, as we present to you the Multi-Agency Honor Guard and Pipes and Drums Band.
Ceremony Honor Guard and all uniform personnel. All attend. Pull. Carry. Colors. Pipe sergeant, by your command.
Fireworks.
Palm Beach County firefighters, pipes and drums. America said. Right, all right. Quick. March.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, say, can you see
what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Please remain standing for the invocation.
As we take a moment to reflect on the pledge, one nation, under God, indivisible. We look back at the United States of America and remember greatly what happened on September 11, 2001. And it is that resilience to stand in faith. It's that resilience to hang on to the hope that we have. So we take a minute right now just to pray for those who have lost families, loved ones, for the first responders who have gone ahead of us. It is a moment like this that we remember sacrifice. Let's pray. Eternal God, we thank you that you are Lord. We put you first in all things. And as we take a minute to remember the families, those hurting, blessed are those that mourn, for they shall be comforted. But we stand together, forward looking for the future. As we stand here and we say, God, lead us and guide us and cover us and comfort us as we give you all glory. Amen.
Please be seated. So we have some very special guests here with us. You're all special, but we have some special guests here to recognize, and we thank them for attending with us. I know it's dark out there, but I want to let you know that we have about maybe 14 members of FDNY, retired FDNY in the back there. Would you please stand? We are so honored by your presence tonight. FDNY, as many of you know, lost 343 firefighters, symbolized, of course, by the numbers 343 on the helmets of the bunker here in the front of the stage. NYPD also lost 37 police officers, and there were 72 law enforcement officers' lives lost in total. Out front, I implore you to take a look at, they brought an engine with them, a beautiful memorial engine, an FDNY engine that has the faces of all the lives lost there, all of the first responders, police and fire, out front. Well, it's actually not out front, it's out back, where you see the large flag flying off of the ladder. The antique engine and the rolling memorial for 9/11 is parked out there. I invite you to take a look at all the faces and take a moment to pause after the ceremony. It will be parked there for a while, and thank you for bringing it. I'd also like to recognize a lot of our dignitaries here tonight. A lot of people take time to take pause at this moment with us and share this with us every single year. We have many from the Board of County Commissioners here. We have our Mayor, Vice Mayor, Maria Marino, Commissioner Greg Weiss, Commissioner Sarah Baxter, Commissioner Mac Bernard, from our County Administration, Deputy County Administrator Patrick Rutter, Assistant County Administrator and our former Fire Chief, Reginald Duran, Assistant County Administrator Tammy Fields, and if there's anyone out there that I've forgotten, I apologize, I can't see everyone from up here. We also have our union, the backbone of our firefighters, the professional firefighters and paramedics of Palm Beach County. We have the first Executive Vice President, Craig Gerlich, and our President, Jeffrey Newsom. Thank you for attending. We also have some special community members here that always join us, and we're so grateful for their presence and their support and their belief in our services. COBRA, which is the Coalition of Boynton West Residential Associations. We have Vice President Debbie Murray, Director Erwin Cohen, and Delray Alliance from the Western Delray area, President Lori Vinacore. And then, of course, from our Citizens Advisory Board, our Fire Rescue Advisory Board, Lance Berkowitz and Richard Leeds. All of you, thank you. Every year on 9/11, we pause to remember, to honor. We take silence, a moment of silence, to remember to think. To lead us tonight in the beginning moment of silence is Palm Beach State Fire Academy graduate and paramedic student Frank Foray.
Let us begin. At the beginning, let us go back to September 11, 2001, for the sequence of events that just started before 0900 hour on that fateful September morning. We ask you to listen to Palm Beach County Fire Rescue Dispatch in a few moments here. The dispatcher will outline the minutes that would follow 23 years ago, when the towers of the World Trade Center would collapse as Americans everywhere held their breath, watching in horror. First, believing this might have been a freak accident, then realizing America was under attack on our soil. There were thousands of lives lost that day and thousands more lost to medical complications long after 9/11. Today, we pause to remember those we have lost.
Attention all stations and all personnel. At this time, 21 years ago, the North Tower of the World Trade Center was struck by an airplane. An American Airlines aircraft crashed into the North Tower of the World Trade Center in New York City, instantly killing hundreds of people and trapping many more. This was the first in a devastating chain of events that all Americans will never forget. Then, 17 minutes later, a second plane crashes into the South Tower of the World Trade Center. At 9:37 hours, a third plane crashes into the western side of the Pentagon military headquarters, sparking a fire. After burning for nearly an hour, at 9:59 hours, the South Tower of the World Trade Center collapses in 10 seconds. At 10:03 hours, Flight 93 crashes near Shanksville, Pennsylvania. It had been heading towards Washington, D.C. At 10:28 hours, the North Tower of the World Trade Center collapses. Every year on this day, we remember the 3,000 lives lost. We remember our first responders went running in while others were running out, dying in the line of duty. 343 firefighters and 72 law enforcement officers. The events that transpired have forever changed our lives and have redefined how first responders operate. All personnel are now asked to observe a moment of silence in honor of the sacrifices made. All personnel, please resume normal operations. Palm Beach County Fire Rescue, dispatch, WPKN 584.
We remember the families and friends who lost someone they loved 23 years ago today. And we thank those who are here today in honor of them and all of America.
We also have this evening with us a very talented local musician and his band, performing tonight an original song written and produced by local artist and vocalist Jerry Montañez. Performing with him are guitarist Roger Roque and pianist Winston Paul. So we asked Jerry last year to come out to our 9/11 ceremony to perform for us and to choose. It's a beautiful song. Well, not only did he choose a song, he actually wrote the song himself. We ask that you take a look at the back of your programs. The lyrics of the song are on the back of your program, and you can follow along with the song and keep it as a keepsake. We present to you, Remember Them.
Good evening. Sometimes it's hard to see the light, to find the strength and will to fight. When heroes fall, it feels so dark, but in that pain still lies the spark. When the darkest memories flood our minds and our thoughts get clouded with fear, think of all the ones who stayed behind for a chance that we could be here. When someone pays the ultimate sacrifice, giving more than just thoughts and prayers, let all glory, stars and stripes fly high, show the world it'll always be there. 'Cause I know it's not in vain to carry on. In spite the pain, we'll move along till God says when. But through it all, remember them. So here we are, after the fall, bruised, black and blue, but still standing tall. let's not forget how far we've come. Don't leave the hero song unsung. When the darkest memories flood our minds and our thoughts get clouded with fear, think of all the ones who stayed behind for a chance that we could be here. When someone pays the ultimate sacrifice, giving more than just thoughts and prayers, let all glory, stars and stripes fly high, show the world it'll always be there. 'Cause no, it's not in vain to carry on. In spite the pain, we'll move along till God says when. But through it all, remember them, just carry on straight through the rain until the day we meet again. We'll move along till God says when. But through it all, remember them. Remember them.
All right, I'd like to welcome up the mayor of Palm Beach County, Mayor Maria Sachs. We have 2,000 square miles, 1.5 million people, so it's a very important day all over Palm Beach County, and we'd like to invite her for her welcome remarks.
Wow, that was so beautiful. That's a beautiful act to follow, and so moving. Good evening, everybody. And my name is Maria Sachs. I'm proud to serve as your mayor of Palm Beach County. We all know where we were on that fateful day. And isn't it astonishing to think that it was 23 years ago? And yet every day, there isn't a day that doesn't go by that someone is grieving a lost one from that horrendous action against our country. In fact, it was the single deadliest day in the history of the United States Fire Service. 343 firefighters and 72 law enforcement officers. The worst attack on the mainland United States of America in our history, with a loss of nearly 3,000 people. We all remember exactly where we were because we had such fear. How could this happen to our country? What was going to happen next? So many new firefighters are just starting their careers in the last few years. They're not alive during that period of time, or they were kids. But you know this was a defining moment in America's history, and certainly in the legacy of the United States firefighters. Everything changed after that day. It wasn't quite the same. We felt vulnerable. Americans feeling vulnerable. In our greatest city in the United States, Manhattan, vulnerable. And yet, we weren't fearful because of the bravery of the men and women of our firefighters. It changed for the better. We changed a little bit for the better. National security increased, airports were secure, first responder agencies advanced their communications, and the nation, and boy, do we need this now, don't we? The nation came together to grieve, to heal, to pick up the pieces and march on as Americans do. In Palm Beach County, the fight against terrorism was close to home. Now, many of you know that the terrorists learned how to fly airplanes in our area. But now we are more vigilant. We are more careful. Not because we are vulnerable, but because we are stronger. One thing became clear was the unwavering dedication and duty displayed by our first responders. Never had Americans seen with that magnitude firefighters, law enforcement, and other emergency services running towards danger, not away from it, running into danger to save people, risking their lives, and many losing their lives. We are overwhelmed even today with respect, gratitude, and pride in our country and our people. While we will never forget the horrific acts of terror, we will always remember those that risked everything to save lives. And to you, we owe that debt of gratitude. Thank you. God bless our firefighters. God keep all our firefighters safe. God bless our great country. Thank you very much. Thank you.
All right, we are so grateful tonight to have another special guest with us, a man who really truly needs no introduction for many of you here tonight. Retired Palm Beach County Fire Rescue Captain Joseph Bartlett, also one of the original members of the Florida Urban Search and Rescue Task Force 2. So Joe was one of the first crews to reach Ground Zero after the attack. He searched that 6-story pile of rubble for nearly a month as jet fuel fires continued to spark up. Captain Bartlett has spent much of his career deploying to devastated areas to help recovery efforts. He responded to the Oklahoma City bombing, Katrina, and multiple other hurricanes, the earthquake in Haiti, Surfside in Miami, explosion in Puerto Rico, and of course, the World Trade Center towers. Now, ironically, before his fire service career even started, Joe worked on the cranes that helped build the Trade Center towers. Little did he realize that he would travel back to New York City years, decades later on a very somber note. He would be there picking up those same pieces of concrete that he helped build, instead this time picking them up off the ground looking for survivors. Joe?
Hello. I don't know how to follow any of this. This is pretty. Well, I do. I'll come up with something. I always make notes, but I might as well just throw some of these away right now. You've seen it all. You've heard it all. Yes, I was indeed at the Trade Center for many years. I did indeed go with Florida Task Force 2, which is one of the federal teams, 28 federal teams in the country. I've been with them since the beginning, and I did go to multiple other disasters. The one thing about all these disasters, they're pretty much all the same. The one thing that we have as a common denominator, whether it be Oklahoma City, Andrew, you can name them. We've seen them on the news. We've experienced them. We've watched them on TV. Every one of them, the common denominator is the firefighter. We go to everything. We go to all of it. And we go to do the right thing. Sometimes it's heartbreaking, and sometimes it's very rewarding to know that you're bringing closure to so many families of people that were involved in these things. Just a couple of things. Andrew was undetermined how many people were killed in Andrew. The Murray building, there was confirmed 168 people killed in the building, and the casualties were 680, who every one of them had to be addressed by one of our firefighters. The Trade Center, we all know, 343 of our brothers died. And one of the things that I always think about, I was there for a lot of days, and after the end of whatever work period I had going on, I remember just waiting for transport to get us back to our base of operations, and I would just look at that tower. I would just look at that 16 acres of complete devastation and say to them, where are all of you? We just spent 14 hours today, and we're just not having the luck that we thought that we might have. But we never gave up. Firefighters don't give up. You continue to do what you have to do, and we did. We, as I said, the common denominator is firefighters go first. I'm sure many of you have less than one of the things that I would like to talk. I thought there was going to be a larger audience of younger firefighters or firefighters that were on the job now. And I was going to ask how many of them have been on the job for 23 years. And just to get a ballpark idea of how many of them know. When they joined the fire department, they became part of the brotherhood. And the good thing about that brotherhood is we love one another. We may hate one another on a certain shift, and we may want to turn around and possibly pull a prank at the fire station. Has anybody ever heard of that? No, none of that? Yeah. But that has happened. That has happened. I've been witness to a couple of them. Never caused any of them myself. No. But I have lied and said, yeah, it wasn't me. Yeah. Some of our firefighters nowadays weren't on the job then, but they wanted to be on the job. But I'm here, actually, I'd like to take another extra minute and just say, when I used to look at that towers or look at the devastation, one of the biggest thoughts that I have, and to this day, 23 years later, and even more than that with some of the other places I've been to, I think families. We tried so hard to find your families. And all those brothers that we had all had families. They had moms, dads, aunts, uncles, children. All of those people were home, not knowing what was going on. And they just had no relief. They were worried. Who did I feel the most for? The moms. The moms, the grandmas, the everybody, because they had to be strong. They had to get those kids to school. They had to get their grocery lists done, not knowing if today was going to be the day they got the phone call that they found the remains, or we found the remains of their husband, who left that morning to go to work and expected to come home. We all expect to come home when we go to work. Sometimes it doesn't happen. People ask often, what was it like at 911? I can't begin to say, other than the fact that it was so devastating that it took a long time for a lot of us to come to terms with. My notes. Another thing that we do as firefighters, this is where it comes that I ask you that I wanted to talk. I don't want to do a speech or do that. I don't know how to do that very well. The mayor, that was beautiful. I feel like ripping up everything that I have. She said it all. But one thing that I want to say to you that nobody else can say unless you are a firefighter is you have to, now, early, later in your career, you have to make it a habit. Make it a habit of talking and sharing about some of your experiences. How many of you, and I can't see any of you, how many of you, when you come home from a shift, your spouse will ask you, how was your shift, honey? What's the answer? It was all right. It was okay. How many of you all do that? Just say I. We need to stop that. We don't have to get into gory details about some of the things that we see, but we need to share. We need to share with them. Because after a while, and I've seen this, when the husband or the brother who spends more time with firefighters than he does at his own home, he can talk to his brothers, but sometimes he doesn't talk to his wife as much as he should. And what he should be saying is, yes, no gory details, but it was a bad shift. It was a bad shift. When he doesn't do that, the wives or the spouses or whoever stop asking after a while about how was your shift, because they know our reply is, it was all right, it was good. So they stop asking. Now, did you ever hear the expression that sometimes firefighters are a little masculine, tough guys? We're, you know, well, that's so true, because a lot of guys do that. And after a while, the reason we don't share some of this stuff is we feel that we're protecting our wives from some of the things that we do see on the job. Nope, nope, don't do that anymore. Because after a while, the wife will stop asking you about how your shift was. And then because we are who we are, we say, hey, what the heck's going on? Why, you don't care anymore how my shift was? It's not that at all. It's just she's tired of hearing the same old, it was all right. So share. 23 years, some of you are on the job, some of you are on the job longer than that. We all want to get to a happy retirement. I'm very happy. My family is, I can't see them anymore, but they're out there somewhere. And my wife, Jenny, she's out there. She's a rock. And she was for every deployment I have. My sons, I have a couple of sons out there that experienced what it was like when they were at school. And all of a sudden they'd come home, ask Mom, where's Dad? And she'd say, I don't know. He's going to this or he's going to that. She kept it together. And that's what those wives, mothers, grandchildren, families of all those 343 firefighters, that's what their families did. I'm happy that I was able to kind of salvage some of the things, because I thought this was a beautiful ceremony. I thought it was very good. I finished by saying, remember 911, remember our brothers, their families, and all those who perished on 911. There were over 3,000 people that perished, not just firefighters. We will not forget. We won't forget. We can't let our kids forget or not know what we're talking about. We need to share. And on an occasion like this is a wonderful way to do it. And like I said, I just wish I could see you all. It wouldn't matter even if the lights were up. I can't see from here to the front. All right. I think last but not least, because everybody told me, keep it brief. Well, I didn't do that. But what I would like to do, and I don't know if I'm supposed to do this just on my own, Chief Kennedy, could you either come up or send an envoy or one of the rookies, or can you come up? Come up here. Where are you? Oh. There, I thought you were over there.
You're right.
Chief? Yeah, huh? It is heavy, yeah. I thought he would have a rookie bring this up because it is heavy. At the Champlain Towers, Surfside, the collapse at Surfside. During that, it was, again, a bad one. We had 98 people that were missing at Surfside. At the end of our almost month period, we found 98 people. We gave closure to all those families. During that period of time, we had multiple agencies, different people come down to assist us while we were doing the work. Chief Kennedy, he sent down, whether it be volunteers or sent down crews from Palm Beach County Fire Rescue. And I know this is not necessarily what I wanted to be talking about as far as 911, but I wanted Chief Kennedy to know how much I appreciated to have people from Palm Beach County Fire Rescue say, "Hey, are you Joe Bartlett?" "Yeah." "Oh, yeah, we're supposed to get in touch with you." And I said, "Where are you from?" "Palm Beach County." Wow, fantastic. So this is really the first opportunity that I've had to be able to thank Chief Kennedy for all of that. And I also brought a piece of steel. There's, I guess you saw it. I brought that with me to give to Chief Kennedy and to Palm Beach County Fire Rescue. So our recruits, our young firefighters, I mean, let's face it, we're all tired of walking into headquarters and seeing a picture of Gribble, right? You know, I would like everybody, sorry, Jim, if you're out there. But I just wanted to give that to Chief Kennedy and say thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. You're welcome.
Thank you so much, Joe. We appreciate you. And thank you. We have a fire service historical center at our headquarters. I invite everyone to come and take a look at it, where we keep some pieces of history there with an explanation, and this will go in that memorial as well. So moving along, September 11th was a day that changed America forever. But what it did not do, what it could not do, it did not break our spirit. You heard the mayor say it. So Americans everywhere, and first responders, they all have different ways and very personal ways that they honor today. Locally, here we have firefighters from the West Palm Beach Fire Department that host a 9/11 memorial stair climb every single year on the weekend before 9/11. So each year, firefighters from all over gather. They all don their bunker gear, some of them even on air or wearing their air packs, and they climb. They climb 110 stories. Their motto, reflect with every step.
So we're at 515 North Flagler. We're climbing 110 for the 110 stories of the World Trade Center, the Twin Towers that fell that day. It all started actually with only 5 guys just coming off their shift, just in remembrance of 9/11. We got guys doing it in full bunker gear.
Which shift? C shift today.
We had police officers that also perished that day, unfortunately. They're in their full kits. We had some service members, military was here.
Suffer a little bit for those who gave the ultimate sacrifice.
300 in the stairwell, 350 outside. The overwhelming community presence is amazing.
The stairs aren't always fun.
Come on, everybody.
But like being in there with everyone is just so empowering. So many people come together.
It means a lot to not just me, but my crew here to support, have a remembrance for all the people that lost their lives in 9/11. All the first responders, as well as the civilians that lost their lives.
You have to recognize the families that lost their loved ones. And to be able to honor them by doing this today is really meaningful to me.
It's hot, it's muggy, it's loaded with people. The rails are sweaty, basically probably very similar situations to what those firefighters experienced in 9/11.
When they do these stairs, they think about what the guys had to go through.
Remember why you're torturing yourself today.
When they climbed up the stairs on 9/11, so they just experienced that for themselves.
Not knowing what they're going into or knowing what they're going into.
Reflect with every step. 343 firefighters made the ultimate sacrifice.
Seeing that, okay, maybe this is the last time I'm going to step in here, but they did it anyway.
It's a reminder that every time we come to work that this could be the eventuality of what happens when we make the choice to give potentially everything that we have for those that we serve.
I'm honored to do what I do. If it was to happen again, I'm pretty sure nobody will think twice to respond to those calls.
What an amazing event. So all the proceeds from this event also go to local charities, two 501c3s. One is Operation 300, helping children who have lost a parent in military activity or military service, and POST, which stands for Pediatric Oncology Support Team, helping children battle cancers. So if there's one thing that 9/11 taught us, right, is that we can never train too much in the fire service. We're always preparing for the unthinkable, the unimaginable. We don't know what's going to happen. So as a testament to that, Palm Beach County Fire Rescue has about a dozen firefighters, along with our medical directors, spending this 9/11 teaching high-performance pediatric CPR to our military comrades all the way over at a Nevada Air Force Base today. This is just one more way that all of those in public service never forget the duty to keep America and her people safe. First responders and public servants everywhere. Tradition. Tradition is what it's all about. It's ingrained in the very fabric of the fire service. For our traditional ceremony tonight, we have a live sequence of 4 traditions. But first, we explain the history behind them, and then the live sequence will follow. So we'll first do the 3-round volley. Teaching us about that are Palm Beach Lakes High School Fire Academy students, Leslie Vasquez, and student Jordan Wofford, who's also one of our cadets. Second, there is another time-honored tradition called the tolling of the bell. Please welcome Palm Beach County Fire Rescue Cadet Kira Cardoso and Palm Beach County Fire Rescue Reservist Juan Ospino. By the way, little note, this is a very special day for Juan. He just became a United States citizen. Obviously, he didn't know I was going to do that, but we're very proud of you. On the bell tonight, Palm Beach County Fire Rescue Honor Guard Commander Steen Erickson. And then the third tradition that you will see here live is called TAPS, another time-honored tradition around the country, signifying the fallen, beginning as a military tradition. For the history behind that, Palm Beach State College EMT firefighter student, Daniela Toiloy. Oh, she's here. And playing taps on the bugle, we have another Honor Guard member, George Cardoso. The fourth tradition is Amazing Grace, played by our Palm Beach County firefighters, pipes and drums. But first, we are going to start with the history behind it all. Hold on, I want to make sure I've got everything up here.
The tradition of the 3-round volley gun salute began in the 14th century. As firearms and cannons came into use in battle, since the early rifles or cannons contained only one projectile, discharging only one time, they were rendered ineffective until the weapon could be reloaded. The tradition of the three-round volley dates back to the European dynastic wars in the 16th and 1700s. During a war, a ceasefire would be called to allow each side to remove the dead and injured from the battlefield. After the dead and injured had been retrieved and properly cared for, each side in the war will fire 3 volleys.
Today, this tradition continues to honor fallen service personnel and first responder at funerals. The 3 individual volleys fired from the rifle represent 3 separate things. 1 bullet for duty, 1 bullet for honor, and the last bullet for country. A video will follow in a moment to show you the 3-round volley performed by Palm Beach Gardens Police Department, Jupiter Police Department, and the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office in front of the 9/11 Memorial.
Long before the internet was invented, or radios or smartphones were used, fire departments across our great nation used the telegraph to communicate. Back then, the telegraph used special codes to receive fire alarms from the famous old-fashioned red fire alarm boxes. The alarm would signal the call to duty for firefighters to respond to a call for help. Sadly, the alarm would also be used to signify that a firefighter had been killed in the line of duty. For this, the fire alarm office would tap out a special signal. This would be tapped out as 5 measured dashes, then a pause, and then 5 more dashes, another pause, and then 5 more dashes.
This was played over all circuits, and it was heard outside on the streets, and it came to be known as the tolling of the bell. This symbolism has been a time-honored fire service tradition for more than 200 years, and today, the tolling of the bell is a sign of honor and respect for all the firefighters who have made the ultimate sacrifice and service for their communities, such as those who passed away on the 9/11. Each year, on the anniversary of the 9/11 terrorist attack, the bell rings in the New York City, along with the reading of almost 3,000 names of people who died from this act of hate. Today, we ring the bell to honor all those memories who didn't come home that day.
Taps, or the National Song of Remembrance, is the distinctive bugle melody known across the country as the music of mourning. However, it didn't start out this way. Taps has its roots in the American Civil War. The tune was written and first used during the war in 1862 to signal soldiers that it was time for lights out. At the end of the day, that it was time to go to sleep. Within 9 months, it was adopted by both the Union and the Confederate forces. During the war, it was also decided that sounding the traditional 3-round volley over a grave site would cause problems if the enemy heard gunfire. The enemy might think it was time to start fighting again. So the bugler was told to play taps instead. In the 1890s, taps then became a standard component of military funerals, added to the 3-round volley. They are both a way to say final farewell to those who have served their country and their community. Here are all 3 traditions together in sequence, followed by the pipes and drums with Amazing Grace.
Attention! Alert! Up! Honor guard, prepare for the 3-round volley. Half right, face. Aim. Fire. Ready. Aim. Fire. Ready. Aim. Fire.
Thank you, everyone. For the final closing remarks, we'd like to invite up our Fire Rescue Administrator, Fire Chief Patrick Kennedy. The Chief will be followed by the retirement of colors.
Good evening. It happens every year. The night before 9/11, the news segments come on, and I just find myself sitting there and quiet. Just like the mayor said, I feel that moment that I remembered that day as I was just getting off shift at Station 55. It was just that moment, just as she mentioned, it was vulnerability, it was the what if. And here we are today, 23 years later. Thank you again, the Palm Beach State, for graciously opening up your doors and making this ceremony a possibility. I'm also reminded in times like today, this ceremony would not happen without our video team, communications team, pipes and drums, honor guard members, and all those who participate to honor the pride and traditions of the fire service. Remarkably, they do this in utter sorrow and grief, and at times, triumph and celebration. For their unwavering commitment, please join me with a round of applause. As I was mentally preparing for today's events, I received a not-so-random text from one of our seasoned captains. It read, "Today is a day that we should, as the fire department, never forget. What happened on September 11th, 2001 is woven into the fabric that is the American Fire Service, and is as much a part of our history as any other defining moment that we all share. We have to pass this day on to those firefighters who do not have the historical background that we have. It has to be memorialized and kept secret. I will share, as a young, unemployed firefighter, I remember a distinct voice and personality ushering aspiring firefighters through physical ability assessments at South Tech Vocational. Sometime after I started working, I realized the individual was a new station officer for Palm Beach County Fire Rescue. His personality was a little bit more animated than I first remember. His stories were a little bit longer than I remembered, and that still remains true today. No matter the pain, the sorrow, the grief, the length of deployments, the devastation he experienced, his personality was the same, uplifting and filled with joyful ribbing, as you might have heard already tonight, as he engaged others in training and through his workday. Darkness and sadness was not his message through his demeanor or interactions with others. It was strength, skill, preparedness, as well as hope to help those in need, whether it be here in Palm Beach County or on that faithful day in New York City. Thank you, Captain Joe Bartlett, for that memory, and thank you for your address this evening. Without coordination, you have done what Captain Lowe's message was this morning. Well done, sir. In closing, we cannot forget the events of that day, September 11th, 2001. Nor can we forget the power of people coming together. Today, we are reminded of the power of our country's resolve and action and the power of hope 23 years later. The accounts of that day and the following days are meant to remind us and inspire us. When despair or sadness is overwhelming, we must remember the strength and bravery displayed that day. Our nation's spirit cannot rest on the response of that day. It cannot. On behalf of the men and women of Palm Beach County Fire Rescue, thank you for joining us to honor the fallen on that faithful day. We look forward to the future as we remember the past. Good night.
Please stand for the retirement of colors.
Palm Beach County firefighter pipes and drums. On the 10. 1, 2. Forward. March. Left. Race. Present. Arms. Order. Arms. Prepare to retrieve. Reach. Ready. Pace. Back front. By oral command. Band. Scott and the Brave. Rollins. Line right. Quick. March.
On behalf of all of the first responders and their families, we thank you for joining us tonight. Please be safe and drive safe. Have a good night.
Hello, I'm Todd Von Laren, and welcome to another edition of Commissioner Spotlight. Today we're joined by one of the newest faces on the Board of County Commissioners, District 4 Commissioner Marcy Woodward. Marcy joined the board representing District 4 in November of 2022 and immediately dove into some of the most challenging issues facing the county, like mediation and preserving open spaces, while also trying to balance the development. She also has been involved in some of the fun historic moments, like cheering on her district university, Florida Atlantic University, as they marched into the Final Four, all while continuing to work to ensure safety on our streets and advance workforce development to ensure our students are focused on their productive futures. Stick with us for the next 30 minutes as we get to know our newest Board of County Commissioners member, Marcy Woodward, on this edition of Commissioner Spotlight.